So that's the rest of the timber has been brought in. I love the look of this one on this side. That's massive. A couple little bits over there. Some long pieces here that we can hopefully try and mill up a little bit further. We've tested the moisture on a lot of it and it's all usable. So it has been drying out for quite a while. And now this space is clear because we're getting a school bus and this is apparently where it's going to be parked. How you doing? I haven't got any food. There might be some seed from the grass. Hey? Is that Dad? Is that Dad up there? Hey? Friday morning, and haven't really done much of an update at work, possibly because year 11 have been out at work placement this week. The majority of the class, there's still a few kids at the school and they're using that opportunity to catch up on cluster work that they might be behind on, trying to get it in and ready done for marking. Year 9, I don't know what day I did it, but year 9 I had some students get to the point where they were ready to do the other end of their stool, and they get to that second end. I introduced them to the domino, and when I showed them the setting out, the marking, the use, how accurate it could be, so many of them just said, "So how come you're making us do the mortars and tenons?" I said, I get you to do those so you, one, learn a traditional joint, and two, so that you can appreciate where we've come, because this is how furniture would have been made traditionally to be strong. Then some would have moved to dowel joints, which is simply like a double tenon that are small, and then some were even doing loose tenons in the past, and that's all this is. It's a loose tenon, but it has a very accurate, high accuracy rate. So the kids have been using that and getting their frames put together. So the enthusiasm has jumped a little bit because they're getting to move through, because it's taken them quite a while to get the mortars and tenon ones done. Other than that, I've been in consult with the other head teachers about staffing, and had a meeting yesterday for our welfare team stuff and roll call changes again, and a meeting with the boss about staffing so that I could punch all the final numbers in and make sure that every class was covered and be ready to check everything and send it through to press the start button for the timetable. I accidentally stayed back late yesterday because I was doing the final sort of tweaks on that and wasn't watching the time. Made a mistake in the number of classes for life ed for some reason. Got that fixed. And so I double checked it all last night, set the laptop up, plugged it in so that it was on power, imported all of the E-groups into the main matrix, which is the first step, and it shuffles as you go to try and improve the options while you're doing it. Once you get all 6 year groups plus life ed plus meetings plus extracurricular activities, once you get all of that in, there's usually little dots everywhere showing clashes of staff. It came up with 57 clashes, which isn't really that bad. I set it to work using its algorithms to try and fix it. I woke up I looked over at the laptop. It was still going, and it had improved down to, I think, 39 clashes. I thought, this is looking good. When my alarm went off at 6, I woke up, and the laptop was sitting there on the login screen. And what I think it did was, like, it's a department laptop. If you leave work and don't log out, it will automatically shut it down before the new school day. It'll log it out or restart it and put it back to the login screen. And I think it did that just before my alarm this morning. And so when I opened it up and reopened the software for the timetable, none of the work I had done in terms of setting up the matrix before pressing the button was there. So that was frustrating to wake up to. I think I'll set the laptop up on my desk today, this morning, get it all ready again and press start. I can at least keep an eye on it throughout the day. And it'll have several hours that it'll sit there playing away. I can still work on the desktop computer throughout the day. I just hope nobody comes to me with any sort of issues that I'll have to stop it for. At least it didn't crash like it did last year. Last year it kept crashing, and I'd wake up with this massive, big, crazy, pixelated screen of the timetable. So that's a positive. Just one of those things. There's our new bus. Exciting. Means that we'll be able to take small classes to excursions without having to book with larger bus companies. 21-seater plus driver. Nice. Really need to do something with this pond because it obviously leaks out through the cracks in the sandstone caused by the tree that used to be right here and had its roots going all through the sandstone. You can see a big crack here, and there's a crack across there. There's a crack right through here, which means that water flows from there through to here. You can see the little tadpoles. They love it when the fresh water's coming through, and they just start swimming around. Not sure where the bigger ones are gone. They're bound to be in amongst the leaf that are there, because that's where I saw them the last time. We had some heavy rain the other night and all of this was filled right over here, so that's why this looks muddy. Or where I was doing the work before, it just washes all the mud down into here. Just start to see how the water's trickling through here, coming through the crack in the sandstone, and the little tadpoles start swimming around in it. I hope there was none in that one, because that one completely dried out during the day. That one's getting low. So what we really want to do is have the water, there's like a nice little run of holes that the water will run down through, and down through here and around here. I need to do, like, fix up a wall behind the, underneath the mondo grass here, right along, and like paint it with pond liner, like what I've got under the house, so that it doesn't leak out. And then we could actually put a pump in this bottom section and have it flow down, and that's been the plan for years and years and years, and I just haven't done anything yet. And for the last few months I haven't wanted to do anything because we've got tadpoles in here constantly. Because I remember years ago we'd get tadpoles and then they'd be gone and you wouldn't know what was going on, but they've really stuck around here because we've had so much rain. Just noticed this area now filling up with water, and there's a crack where this grass is here, that goes down into that section. So as long as there's water in there, it'll flow through to this one and through to this one through the cracks. So I've now got this running down into this top one. Spills into that, flows around here into this one, which flows down into this one, which flows down into this one. Just kicking back. So this is where the stair stringers are for. I'm deciding whether to use the hardwood I've got or whether to look to find the proper stringer material, which is probably better because the steps are meant to be about 240. That's how long those are. And most of the sleepers are only 190 to 200. And today I tried to use the whippersnipper in the backyard. I did front yard with the old with the new electric one the other afternoon after work, and got as far as the lead would get me up the front, and then the spool ran out and it was getting dark, so that's when I packed up. Backyard, I thought I'll use the still. It was going well until I lost the bottom. It started making some really weird noises, and all of a sudden the spool dropped out on the ground, and I noticed the top cap was gone, as well as the little metal inserts for the line. And I've searched all through the side of the yard where it started to make that weird noise and can't find it. It was really deep vine area and a lot of rock. And I think I've just hit a rock and it's torn this bottom out. I mean, you can see how worn this has gotten, and it was very worn right around the outsides. And so I'm just going to have to replace this. I got the brush cutter blade that I've got, which is kind of like a saw blade, a little bit smaller. It worked well for going through some of the thicker stuff that's on the side of the yard that I want to get rid of, but for grass it's just so slow. So I really need a new one of those, and I might see if I can get one of the other brush cutter blades that is like a tri-blade, a little bit more aggressive than the thing that I've got, which would be better for the thick grass and vine, and probably even the bamboo that's growing all over the place before it gets too hard. I think I need to get onto some of the hardwood places or the Bunnings and see if they actually sell the stairs. I know they sell treated pine stair treads for those stair stringers, but I'd prefer hardwood.